Okay, would you like to say your name, year, course, and university?
Yeah. So my name is Deop Evans. I'm currently doing a master's and a UCC. So it's the Anglo-European Chiropractic College, I believe.
Can you say that again?
So the Anglo-European Chiropractic College.
And what's your hometown?
Hometown is London.
Can you tell us what undergrad you did?
Yeah, so my undergraduate, I done sports psychology and exercise science at Bournemouth University.
So if we talk about your undergrad, why did you choose your course?
I think my story was a bit funny, to be fair. I think like my whole life, and maybe even now, I'm a bit older. I've always wanted to do football and be a footballer and just be in and around football. I had chances when I was younger, but it didn't materialize. And so obviously when you're young and growing up, like you obviously go with like your dream and stuff like that, which for me was football. But being from like a Caribbean African family, there's always like you need to put your education first. You need to have a plan B kind of thing. And so that plan B was always like education and university. And so for me, when I went to university, it was a case of in the forefront of my mind, I had, okay, maybe if I go somewhere for university, football can still work out, but let me choose a topic that's associated with football and that might allow me to become like improve in certain areas of my football. So when I chose sports psychology, it was a case of, okay, sports psychology and exercise coaching, maybe there might be some elements in there that can improve me and it's still in around sports and football, so I'll enjoy it. So yeah, that was the reason why I chose that course.
So is that a 3 or 4 year course?
So it was a 4-year course, so a placement in my 3rd year, and then 4 years, but I actually ended up having to retake my 2nd year because of a knee injury, so I ended up doing 5 years there. So yeah, been around for a while.
So in those 4 or 5 years, what have you thought of your course?
I enjoyed it, to be fair. Like more than just the course. I think going to uni and stuff like that for me was more than just a course. I remember when I was back at home, like it was very much go to school, come home, play PS4, stay in your room kind of thing. Whereas coming to uni, it was like the whole social experience. It kind of really grew me as a person. So I think more than just what I learned from actually doing the course, it was more of how I like developed as a person and kind of grew more into myself and became more confident, and kind of, I don't know, got to see what the world had to offer, or a small part of it. So I think that's what I most enjoyed about uni.
You said you had a placement year?
Yeah,
Did you take your placement year?
Yeah. So I was very lucky, to be fair. So my placement year, I was done at Southampton Football Club. So I had a sports psychology role there. So that was with the academy players. So anywhere from the ages of 9 to 16. And some of these players are ridiculous. Like literally, when I say 9 to 16, probably from like 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, like crazy, like technical ability is just mad in it. So being in that sporting environment, it was good because it's like, that's what I always wanted to be. At times I was a bit jealous because I was like, these kids are living my dream kind of thing. But yeah, it was amazing to be in and around it. And it was like the perfect experience, especially with the course being sports psychology. And then obviously the job or placement being sports psychology. It's something that after uni, when I initially started the course, was something that I was thinking, okay, look, I can go into it. And having that placement and that experience was almost like a direct route into the sports industry. So overall, my placement was really good.
In your opinion, what do you think the best A-levels / subjects are for your course?
Best A-levels for what? For the course that I've done?
Yeah, and your undergrads. A-levels or subjects?
I wouldn't be able to give like a really good answer for that one. Like my ones I done economics, media, and what did I do? Economics, media, and psychology. So the psychology aspect of what I've done, it kind of ties in. So I reckon probably would be good if you done psychology. I actually done PE at A-levels. And I remember when I was doing A-levels, you obviously got to choose 4 in the first year, and then you had to drop 1 topic, and then you went down to the 3, and then that's the one you done. And funnily enough, it was PE that I failed. I don't know if I failed. I think I got like a D, which is still classed as a pass, but not really. So that's the one I had to drop. But when you think about sports psychology, you would assume, okay, you need to do PE in it. And I remember when I actually done my sports psychology class, it was like things like functional anatomy and things about the heart, which is what you learn in PE. Those are the things I struggled with. Avocado. Those are the things I really struggled with. So I think if you were to do PE, psychology, maybe a bit of like sociology, would probably be really good for that kind of course, to be fair. But I think the most important thing is just being able to do the work at A-levels and then getting to uni and then going from there. I think you could, like, I don't know, I almost feel like you could do any course at A-levels and then come and do like this course at uni as well, just because the teachers are really good. So they never allow you to just do it by yourself kind of thing. You always get help and you always get support. So yeah, I'd say you can do anything. It's more the experience of going through A-levels, hitting deadlines, doing the work, being able to talk to the teachers, and then going from there, I reckon.
And if we now go into your university, which is Bournemouth University, the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth University, start off with the worst.
The worst thing I studied, or in general?
About this, so this is going to Bournemouth, being a student at Bournemouth University. What do you think the worst thing was about being a student at Bournemouth University?
Worst things. I think, you know what, it's crazy to say it, but when I look back at it now, I think the amount of free time you actually have. I remember in like my first year and maybe even in my second year as well, like it doesn't sound like a bad thing because it's a case of, okay, boom, I go to lecture, I come home, I chill, da-da-da-da-da. But it puts you in such a bad, like, how do I say this? I remember when I finished uni and it was like, okay, like, flip, what am I doing now? And I remember going on to like social media and stuff like that. And you see a lot of people, they're doing this, they're doing that, or they've started up this business, or they throughout their uni. I remember there was one guy when I started uni, he'd been trading from then. So he'd had 6 years experience, finished uni. And even if that career path he wanted to go into didn't work out, he still had that thing on the side. Whereas when I was in my first year and second year, it's that I had so much time on my hand, and I don't think I was kind of encouraged to use that time efficiently. Like it shouldn't be, someone shouldn't need to tell you that, but I think like one of the worst things for me, yeah. I think because I had so much free time, bro, I'll meet you at home now. Because I had so much free time that I didn't use efficiently, I think that was probably the worst thing, because I kind of got into that routine of, okay, boom, go to uni, come back home, play P4, maybe kick ball, like maybe go out with the lads, especially with the societies as well. Like it's good because it's social and you get into it, but it can also be bad as well because you get into the drinking, you get into the partying, and then all of a sudden you lose yourself in it, innit? So yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the worst aspects.
And the best aspects?
The best aspects, so for me, like I said, before I came to uni, I was very much keep myself to myself kind of thing. Like I would come home and then like I might be on my phone, I might message a couple of people here and there kind of thing, but I never really go out and explore. Like I said before, my hometown was London, but before I went to uni, like I think I probably went Shepherd's Bush to go to Westfield, maybe watch a movie, get some Chinese, but other than that, I never really went out like that. I had like my close friends and my close boys, but we didn't really, I don't know, like for me personally, whenever there was a motive or anything, I wouldn't really go out in it. So going to uni, I don't know why it was, but it just, I don't know, it grew my social skills. It allowed me to get more out there and like I said, just grow into myself. Like I feel a lot more confident now as a person than what I was when I first started uni. So for me, that's the best thing about it. I think kind of finding yourself away from home and growing into who you are as a person, if that makes sense.
That does. If we go into your accommodation, where did you live in your first year?
So with mine's a bit different. So I actually got into Bournemouth through clearing. So originally I'd hoped to go to a different uni and didn't get the grades, but I think everything always happens for a reason. And the uni, I ended up, what was I? It was like Unilet is what it was called. So I literally got paired with like random people, literally people that like, if I had the choice to choose, like I would have never probably lived with these people, like never ever in it, but it was such a good experience in it, like crazy. Like I had two people older, one my age, like a really good friend that I still speak to now, and then another girl that was, I think she was either 1 year older or 1 year younger than me, but it was like one from Bulgaria, one from somewhere else in Europe, another one from Scotland, and another one from like London. And it's just like, I don't know, like in uni you meet so many people that you'd never meet. And like, yeah, it was amazing, isn't it? Like I wouldn't have, if I had the choice to choose, I wouldn't have chosen to be in that situation. But looking back at it, I'm so glad that it happened, kind of thing. and that I met those people and that I lived there in first year. So it was a bit far from the clubs. So I didn't go out that much. I think I probably went out maybe 3 times or 4 times in my first year, but that was probably a good thing as well, innit? And then it was quite close to uni. So yeah, I was quite happy before I did first year, to be fair.
Your second year?
Second year, where did I move out? So my friend who I went to the uni with, but he went to, I think he had to live somewhere else first year. So in second year, if I'm correct, I believe I lived with him. And then one of my friends I lived with in my first year at uni, and then 2 other people, if I can remember correctly. I can't remember fully, but I remember second year. So I think it was in Winton or Charminster is one of them. We was in Winton or Charminster. Like I've lived in like 6 different houses since I've been in Bournemouth, so it's crazy. But yeah, I think it was Winton or Charminster, and I remember it was really good, really, really good.
And obviously your third year, you had your placement, and then you had your final year. And was that another house?
Nah, so what happened was I had my first year and now my second year, and I had to retake my second year, and then I had placement, and then I had final year.
So in your final year, did you live in a house also?
Final year, yeah. So yeah, I was in a house in final year as well, yeah. Okay. So I believe that was in Charminster. It might have been Fortescue Road, actually, like near a graveyard, or it might have been Stewart Road. It was Fortescue or Stewart Road as one of them.
If we talk about the Bournemouth area, the nightlife, the shops, the food, how would you describe it for students?
Yeah. So for me, I really enjoyed it, to be fair. Like, I think crazily enough, before I came to Bournemouth, I'd never been clubbing. Like, I'd literally never, ever been clubbing. It was crazy. And I remember, like, my first night out, I went out with my friend Dion. It was actually, I think it was the Big Freshers Icebreaker. It was the first event I went to. And it was in Cameo, innit? And the whole setup is very different to how it was now. But I remember going in, and it was like I was in a movie, innit? You're like, you know, when you get that euphoria moment where you're just like, wow, like, what is this? And it was crazy. So yeah, that was really good, to be fair. And like the nightlife and stuff like that is really come on in it. Like the nightlife is very, very good. Like I haven't been many other places, like many other cities. Like I've kind of experienced some nightlife in London and like some nightlife in like Birmingham and stuff like that. But like the ones in Bournemouth I've been to are very, very good, to be fair. And the price is always very good as well, which I always appreciate. Shops and stuff like that. I remember in first year, I never really cooked that much in it. Like I was living off of Coley noodles. I'd get like a big mega pack of Amazon and just slap some seasoning on that. And that would be me in it. Like as the years grew on and coming to like the houses and stuff like that, I'd start going to your Lidl's and getting the chicken and stuff like that. But in Charminster, I think where the area is very diverse anyway, there's a lot more stores with like African food and stuff like that. So a lot of the seasonings they'll have in it. Like, so I remember I was going into Charminster and I was surprised to see they had the jollof seasoning and the Maggi cubes and the Maggi liquid seasoning and all of that, and the ackee and the selfish and the callaloo. So it's crazy, isn't it? So I think you can always find, or not always find, but you kind of feel like you're at home in it. Like you always find what you need, kind of thing in it. So the food and the nightlife is fantastic. I think even the location of the place is great. Like whenever I've been in London, I remember I didn't drive for my first, second, third, or I think it was my 4th year I started driving, but like everything is so local in it. You don't really need a car, but it's nice when you have a car, everything is like 2-3 minutes away in it. So it's just really nice to get about, kind of thing in it. So yeah, like the area is fantastic. Like even the people are nice, isn't it? Like I remember coming from Bournemouth to London and it was crazy because it's like how polite the people are, even little things like opening up the doors for you, like even just randomly getting into conversations and stuff like that. So the place is really good, to be fair.
What general advice would you give to students wanting to study at Bournemouth University?
General advice.
This is like first years about to come to university. What general advice would you give? What general advice would you give to students about to study at university? This is first years about to come to university.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the biggest one for me that I can think about, regardless of if it's even uni or anything, isn't it? But I think especially if you're going into your first year, like the work for me, like first year when I think about it, the work wasn't that hard first year. And I think in terms of like the actual schedule before you going in, you have a lot of free time in it. So for me, I would say like use that free time as effectively as you can in it, whether it's like getting a part-time job and starting to save up already, whether it's like learning a new skill, whether it's like an interest you have and you want to start learning and educating yourself on that. I would just say like the biggest advice I would say, and that I wish I'd done when I was younger, like going back into first year now, was just to use that time more effectively. Like a lot of my time when I think about it, it's crazy how much time I spent watching movies, like especially playing PS4 in it. Playing PS4 was the worst one for me in it. But the amount of time I spent on that, and when I reflect on it back now, it's like, what did that do for me? Like them PS4 hours that I spent, them movie hours that I spent, if I had put that into something else, like some of the things I'm doing now, some of the things I'm interested in doing now, and like trying to figure out now, like where could I have been in it? What could I have been doing now? So I just say, just spend that free time more effectively in it.
What advice would you give to students about to study at Bournemouth University?
Bournemouth. I think one of the things that really helped me, like I said, was growing into myself and coming out and stuff like that, was joining a society. So I ended up joining the football society. Like obviously you're doing a few things with the ACS now, and I remember when I was there, the ACS society wasn't really that, or I didn't really know about it kind of thing. But with now all these different events that are happening and stuff like that, and all the different get-togethers, it's really nice to feel welcome and feel at home, like in a place away from home kind of thing. So I'd say coming to Bournemouth University, whether it's the ACS society, the football society, or wherever, I'd say find something you're interested in and look to see if they have that society and really get involved with that society and get involved with the people. Because I think, especially when I first moved away, like I'm not someone who's like, if I know someone, I can be open and I can speak to them kind of thing. But if I don't really know them, I'm a bit anti kind of thing. So I think getting into that football society really allowed me to gel with these people and then come out of my shell kind of thing. So I'd say join societies and just make the most of it kind of thing. Like I remember I always reflected back on like my uni experience, and it was a case of like, did I make the most of it? Like, and I remember even friends I talked to that graduated, like a lot of the times when they're at work, like a lot of them work 9 to 5s in it, and I'll have a conversation with them after work, and I go like, "How was work?" And the response would be like, "Work is work." That's what they'll say. It's literally work is work in it, and they'll say they miss uni in it. So I'd say like, if you're there for 3-4 years, like enjoy it. Literally, just enjoy that time that you have to spend at uni. Just enjoy it in it, because it literally goes like that in it. It literally goes like that, and then you're on to the next chapter of your life in it. So yeah, just enjoy it. Is what I would say.
What advice would you give to students about to study your course at university?
My course. So where I went wrong was, I remember. So first year was fine, because in terms of grades, like first year doesn't count towards your final grading. So yeah, you can afford to go partying or like slack off a little bit kind of thing. It's more about just learning the skills, learning how to reference and like how to write the essays and stuff. Where I messed up was in my second year. So in my second year, I still was in that kind of mindset of the first year of, I knew it counted, but my actions wasn't basically like reflecting the fact that it counted. So I would have the assignment and I would wait, I procrastinate, come to maybe a week. And I don't think there was one assignment in second year where I wasn't doing an all-nighter to hand it in the day before. And it, like, I'd have so much time to do it, and I have so much time to prepare, but I'd always end up being an all-nighter. And the result I ended up getting in first year, I think I ended up getting like a 54 or like 58 overall in first year. And then obviously it counts to that when I done my last year, I think I got a first overall, but then the ending grade was like a 2-1. And so I remember at the end of it, I was thinking, like, if I'd only patterned up in second year, like my grade could have been a lot more, because funnily enough, I found last year easier than my second year. I don't know why, but my grades was a lot better in final year. And I don't know, like, if it was the experience or whatever, but I found final year was easier. Maybe I was more familiar with like how it went and stuff like that. But I always remember wishing when I got my grade, when I graduated, if I'd only patterned up in second year, like how much better could my grade be, kind of thing, innit? So if you're studying my course, I'd say second year, really put the shift in second year, and you kind of set yourself up for like a better finish in the final year, kind of thing, innit? So that's the kind of advice, I'd give anyway.
You chose going to university over an apprenticeship / going right into work. What path did you to make this choice?
So like I was saying in the beginning, like education didn't really interest me. Like whenever I heard of apprenticeships and stuff like that, I heard people say like mechanical engineering and stuff like that. And it's never been me in it. Like anyone who knows me, my love, my passion, it's always been football in it. Like football has always been the thing. So university kind of just happened as a result of me wanting to continue football, and like because it was to do with sports, I kind of just fell into it. I remember I went on a open day to view, because originally I was supposed to go to Loughborough or Birmingham, and I remember I went to viewing for Birmingham, and I also went to the one at Bournemouth as well, actually. And I remember Bournemouth being like a really nice place. So when I didn't get into Birmingham or Loughborough, it was probably viewing Bournemouth and being in there that made me think, okay, you know what, I did quite like that place, and then made me want to go there. So that's probably some advice as well. So don't just do the online open days. Like actually go to the place, get a feel for the place, maybe go out for dinner with your family there, have a walk about and see like what you feel about the place, in it, because 4 or 5 years or 3-4 years is a commitment at the end of the day, innit? So yeah, I kind of went like way off in it, but mine came down to wanting to play football and thinking, if I come to uni, I can still play football, which isn't great in it, but that was my thinking when I was making the decision.
What is Tier 1 entertainment?
Tier 1 entertainment. So Tier 1 entertainment, it's all about having a good time. It's all about vibes. It's all about creating like the best events, like fueled by the people that are there. I think whenever I went out in my first year, second year, even third year, like the best events weren't necessarily the biggest events or like the ones with like artists playing or anything. It was more the vibes and the people around you that created that energy, kind of thing. I remember there was one night we had in like Cameo in it, and it was just like the people there and the energy, it was just nuts in it, and like emotion is contagious, and you kind of just feed off of everyone's energy and stuff like that in it. So it was a case of, can we create an events company to do events that just bring the raw energy and like that just vibes in it, like, and I remember going to some events, like even events I wasn't even minding, and I was just watching, and I just look at it in it, and I just feel like people are having such a good time in it, like, and it was just like, how can we bottle that and create that? And yeah, Tim just grew from that in it. So it started November, was it the second lockdown in November, which again is like it's a crazy time to start an events company during lockdown. But the whole thinking for us was there wasn't a lot of people doing events at that time, obviously because of the situation and what was happening. And so it was a case of, can we start to build a little fan base, a little community growing within this period, and then when everything opens up, explode from there, kind of thing. So that was the whole thinking behind it, and we're just going from event to event. Obviously, being like just starting, it's going to have your ups and it's going to have your downs, which we're learning. And the good thing about this is, I remember listening to a lot of different motivational speakers and people, and they talk about how like life is a lesson in it. Like every single day you learn different lessons, kind of thing. And from doing the business with my brother and Thomas, like doing this, it kind of accelerates that learning. Like there's so many different things that happen, and it's like you're not expecting it, but it just always improving you as a person, kind of thing. So yeah, it's an events company with the potential to be anything we want it to be in it. Like the potential that this company has is incredible in it, and it's what I think it's just past our first year now, and already where we've come. Some of the events that we've thrown, the people that have been involved, has just been amazing in it. So we're just hoping to go from strength to strength to strength to strength, and just see what God has in store for us in it. It's exciting, man.
So at this point, I like students have what I like to call a free fall. You can say what you want about what you like. You can say something smart, you can say something dumb. Literally, the floor is yours.
So I'm just saying, what, anything?
Anything you want, the floor is yours.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of got me on a hot seat here. Anything. Oh, what, anything related to anything?
Anything you want to say. You can shout your company socials, you can give advice, you can say something about students, you can say something about Bournemouth, literally. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, this one's a bit crazy. I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, no, this one's a bit crazy. I don't know. I think recently, I'm in a season of life where there's ups and there's downs, and I felt like I've been dealing with a lot of adversities, kind of thing, in it. So where maybe things will be building up and then you come back down. So whether it's like your uni's going well and then you get a bad grade, whether it's something's building up and then all of a sudden it's like boom. So I don't know. I think the message I want to like leave on is I don't know. Life is for taking risk and for making mistakes, and everything that happens is for a reason. And as long as we learn from the things that have happened and we kind of bounce back and we don't stay down, like we'll always be better for it. And you can never see why things have happened in a moment. You can only see why they've happened looking back. And that's been something that's happened a lot with me now, kind of thing. I remember when certain things happened, I'd be thinking like, why has that happened, kind of thing. But now reflecting back on it, it was like, this was the reason, innit? And God had a plan. So yeah, if anyone's feeling down or anyone's having things that they're fighting against or any adversity, just keep getting up in it. Just keep getting up, keep going. And there's a reason for it. And yeah, it'll be airy in the end, and everything will be airy. So yeah.